Do you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you. I'm just trying to figure. Stop this. Dang.
Ooh, that was big
Bro,
by Maxey.
I know Tyrese Maxey's good. The thing about this series is gonna be, I think, if Joel Embiid can stay healthy enough, like healthy enough.
I was thinking
Because
about this. Do you think if Philly wins this first game, oh man, big shot by Josh Hart. Do you think if Philly wins this first game, they sit Joel for that second one just to get him a day's rest, or do they think they try and win with him on the road again?
I think you limit minutes in the second game.
Just try
I
and get
think
it
you
done with him as little as
try
possible.
and get him done with as little as possible. Kind of like let
Yeah.
Maxey know, like, yo, this is gonna happen, and the other guys know, like, hey, he's gonna play, but he's gonna be very limited. Which I think at
Hmm.
least let him play a little bit, like in the main minutes, like get him loose, get him going. But at the same time, that's still hard because you can't like sit him down and get him cold. So you'd almost have to like have a bike somewhere for him to just be on a
Yeah.
bike or something. But I
Yeah,
don't
it'd
know.
be interesting to see what they do with that.
Mm-hmm. But outside of that, this is gonna be the best. This is gonna be one of the better series, I think.
You think in the
Mm-hmm.
East or just out of all of them?
In the East,
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think Boston's gonna get back on Miami, and that's not gonna even be a series. Jimmy being hurt, I don't think that'll be a series. Bro,
Yeah,
New
I
York
think
fans are ruthless.
Miami, oh my goodness, drilled another tray.
The New York fans
I
are
can't even
ruthless,
remember what
bro.
I was about to say. That's huge. That's three big trays by the Knicks on the
That
stretch.
Deuce McBride has had a game. I don't know if he didn't
I
hit that
like
one. I don't think,
him.
but
No, that was Ananobi, but Deuce McBride is nice.
mm-hmm. Um, no, yeah, he is. Well, NBA playoffs. I did honestly, when I woke up this morning, kind of forgot that they started today.
I did too, honestly. That's why I missed the first couple games.
First game, blowout, Cavs, Magic. I think the Cavs are gonna handle business. I think the
Yeah,
Magic are too young. Second game, what was the second game? Phoenix, Minnesota. That's gonna be a series. I think that'll go back on. That series reminds me of the Warriors, Kings series last year.
in what
Young
way? Oh,
upcoming team in Minnesota, and then you got the Suns with the vets on the squad. That is going to be a dogfight. That one might go 7. I think that one might be the one in the West that goes 7.
they got him pretty good today, didn't they? Yeah, they got him by 25 today.
Mm-hmm. Random. And Edwards, he's the future of the league.
Yeah,
Straight up.
you would
Mark those
say the
words.
Timberwolves are young though? Like I think
Yeah.
the Timberwolves, I think a lot of their big
No.
pieces are young, but they also have Rudy Gobert,
Mike Conley.
Cat's been around a little while, Mike Conley. So I feel like they do have some youth and some of their dogs are youthful guys, but they got some experience as well.
Mm-hmm. No, for sure. Um. Oh, Denver, LA. That one's the next game tonight. What do you think about?
Who you got in
God
that one?
damn! Oh my Jesus! I'm sorry. I've been trying. I know I'm like 8 seconds ahead of you. I've been trying to keep it cool, but god damn,
So, oh jeez.
bro, Josh Hart
That's
is
just
having
making
a moment.
shots.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. Him and Jalen Brunson are on the same team. Him, Jalen Brunson, and Dante DiVincenzo play like important minutes on this team, and those three played important minutes in national championship games, like for Villanova.
Mm-hmm.
They were teammates at one point. It's just DiVincenzo the first time around, I think, was either hurt or a red shirt.
He was younger, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember him. He was kind of that next Villanova guard that was kind of in the rotation or kind of was in the scene, but not. He wasn't that guy yet.
Mm-hmm. Um, all the NBA to me is good in the East when New York is good, when Chicago is good, when Boston's good, Philly, like the the OG franchises. Chicago, bro. I saw a tweet that said they're the cheapest team in the league. Like they do not go and buy anything or get anything. They're just content with like 40
Yeah,
win seasons, and it showed their season. I was like, dang, that's so true.
but they were talking about it. I was watching the end of that game, or kind of a lot of that game actually, and the commentators were talking about the Bulls were missing Zach LaVine. They were missing one other guy. I can't remember who they said. Um, oh, Patrick Williams that is on the Bulls, and they didn't have him either. That big from the Celtics, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Wasn't
yeah.
Patrick Williams Celtics?
Yeah,
Or am I thinking
he was on the
Robert Williams?
Celtics. Oh no, you're thinking of Robert Williams. That's who you're thinking of. I know who you're thinking of.
Who am I thinking of? Who is Patrick Williams? Oh, gotcha, Patrick. Yeah, okay, this is the guy. Yeah, that's not the guy I was thinking of. But anyway, they're missing
No.
him as well. So I don't think that would have put them much better. I don't think they would have contended in the East ultimately,
No.
but they would have been a little bit better than they are.
Boston's so much better, but I mean it'll be interesting how this all plays out with Milwaukee, Giannis being hurt. He's out. So I think really Indiana has a golden opportunity here because Indiana was Milwaukee's kryptonite in the regular season.
Hmm.
But at the same time, I said this could be a good thing for Milwaukee because this will give them a chance to let Dame kind of carry, like truly carry.
Cook a little bit, yeah. Yeah, and I think they still have the squad to get the job done in the East if things line up for them. But I think the odds are stacked against them a little bit. Josh Hart with the offensive rebound to end the
Dude,
game.
you know a fan base is down. Like they've been having some down times in the last 20 years when game 1 of the playoffs they're just geeked. Like look at these guys, man. Everyone just going crazy like they just won the damn thing. Yo,
But it's like you said, like this. I think this is the first Knicks team in a little while that gives them some hope. And honestly, like I feel it. I think I said it on the last podcast. Like I don't, or maybe it wasn't on the podcast. I was talking to somebody, but then I wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks make a legitimate run at the Eastern Conference.
uh-huh. No, I agree. I totally agree on that. But at the same, I don't think anyone's beating Boston. Boston's in the
No, I
finals.
agree with that. Yeah.
I truly think whoever comes out of the West though, I think will win the NBA finals.
I don't know. I think if it's a good matchup for Boston, I think Boston could legitimately take it.
I think that Denver can beat Boston.
It's
Minnesota could
definitely.
definitely beat Boston. Um, I think Phoenix could beat Boston if they got there. I think I hate saying it, but I do think if LA got there, they could beat Boston. Dude, the Clippers could beat Boston. That's 5 teams. Like if Boston wants to really truly have like to be the favorite, they need to play OKC, New Orleans, or damn, who else? Dallas. But even then, Dallas
Mm,
is the best team in the last 20 games in the NBA. They're like
yeah,
18-2.
there's definitely a lot of teams that could give anybody that comes out of the East problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think no, the West was just so loaded because I saw a thing like everyone like me, I'm so frustrated with the Warriors as a 10 seed, but their record was 3 wins better than last season and they were a 6 seed last season. That's how good the
Let's
West was
I
this year.
wanna touch on that. So let's welcome the people since we're 10 minutes in. Um episode 43, I believe.
42.
44, 42.
42.
No, dude, I think it's 43. I'm checking right
No,
now.
because I'm looking at Spotify right now. This is episode 41, Sweet 16.
Shoot. You're right.
So
You're
episode
absolutely
42,
right.
people.
Episode 42. Um, but let's kick it off with that in a sense. Get your the feelings off your chest about the Warriors a little bit, and it can be um just some reminiscing and some nostalgia if you want, or it can be critical if you'd like that.
Well, I think Clay, as much as I would love to have him back, I think it's time for one. He's going to be gone. I think he'll be in Orlando, probably, more than likely. He'll get paid.
Why do you say Orlando?
Well, one, that's been the biggest. That's been the place that would be willing to pay him the most, and they need a shooter. I think it's. I truly think he wants something new. Like, dude, it's been a rough since 2019, since he tore his ACL. It's been a rough 5 years for him. Five,
Hmm.
6 years. Like, he truly hasn't ever showed himself. Um, so that's how I don't know. That's how I see it. But I think at the same time, the Warriors need to stop wasting their time because Steph has 2-3 years left. Truly, Steph has about 2-3 years left of prime Steph, and
Hmm.
guys like Chris Paul ain't gonna cut it. You can't go get little dudes like Chris Paul. We have to adjust, man. Like they need to get some size. I would do everything to try and go get like a guy like DeAndre Ayton. What's wrong? What's so
Hmm.
wrong with that? A guy like DeAndre Ayton who can give you 16 to 18 points a night, 10 rebounds. He's Looney can back him up. I mean, to me that's perfect. That'd be a perfect big to have. And then maybe make a run at someone like PG. Those two, if you can make just another superstar, man,
Mm.
they need another perimeter player. Like they need one more perimeter player because Steph can't do it by himself, and it was evident that they have no one that can really create for themselves outside of 30.
Yeah. No,
But
that was certainly evident that the who they
I mean, he
just
was
play
triple teamed.
Sacramento's. Yeah,
They were
exactly. You
triple
know, like
teaming him.
they were definitely making everybody else beat them. But I guess there's a lot there. Like you said with Clay, there's no question that um, it seems like, and everybody seems to be somewhat alluding to them moving him or whatever, which is sad. Like I thought it was funny when you in the messages and you were like, "Bro, I'm watching 2012 highlights right now," or yeah, 2014 or whatever it was you said. I was dying, but like
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of crazy in a sense seeing the Warriors if they don't do something about it, like they're not going to be in the championship conversation.
Anymore, like at all, they will not be. It's just so nuts that we're watching like 10 years of our lives were consumed of the
Yeah.
Warriors running the NBA, running the NBA.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Jamal Murray just put it.
Oh, yams.
That was a nice ass dunk. Oh, let's go. Bron still got it. My
Oh,
dad asked me that. He's like, how many more years can he do this? I was like, shit. I don't know, dude. That man's body, like, that's what you get. The kids, that's why you stretch. That's why you eat good. That's why you lift and work out. That's why you do all those
yeah.
things. Stretch before you work out, recovery, all that. Like, if you get into the habit of just showing up and lacing up and going, your body will break down way faster.
Oh, I'm finding that out, bushel beans.
You're the stiffest body, like you had no
Not an
flexibility.
ounce. What do you think about this Nuggets Lakers series now that we're watching this game right now? I think I'll say this. I'm gonna give you my take before you answer that. I think the Nuggets are gonna win. I just want to put that out there. But if the Lakers were to make this a very interesting series and sneak one out, I wouldn't be entirely surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised if the
Yeah.
Lakers won.
I mean, like I said, I think the Nuggets are gonna win.
Like the series, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be like
Yeah.
I really wouldn't be surprised if the Lakers won this series. To be truthfully
Really.
honest with you, you're betting against LeBron James, bro.
Bush, I'm so glad you say that, man. I'm so glad to hear you say those things.
I ain't gonna stop hating on him. Kobe better. Kobe and LeBron or Kobe and MJ are better than that man. But I mean, it's like when Kobe was in the playoffs. Like you're betting against. Why?
That is very true.
Why?
I will say the Nuggets have that on the other side too with Jokic. Like even though they've got one championship, I put Jokic on that level of like a 1000% difference maker if you have that guy on your team.
I just think like here's my reason why I wouldn't be surprised with the Nuggets losing is because I think this might be the karma series with all that stuff they talked in the summertime, and then you know how there's all those clips with AD going like, "Oh, me and Braun talked, and we just can't wait to get ours. We just can't wait to get our get back, all that stuff." And everyone made a big deal about how the Nuggets like beat them in the opening round game and beat them in the regular season, and it's like, yo, maybe the stars are aligning for this to
Bush, you
happen right
always
now.
keep the receipts, bro. You always know, you always recall those types of things where it's like they said this early on in the
Those
year.
are important moments.
That's funny.
Those are important bolts, important
Mm,
material, dude. It's like when after the year, so you can ask Max this. After the year North Carolina went to the national championship against and lost against Kansas, and they returned everyone like Caleb Love, Leaky Black, Armando Bacot, all
mm.
those dudes, and only lost Brady Manick when they all did their man. We were a minute away from a national championship, and we're gonna come back, and they did all that stuff, and each one of them made their own little video. I was like, we're screwed. We're screwed. Chalk it up. I'm gonna support
Yeah,
y'all, but chalk it up. Like you can't do that, man. You can't. You know how much because like to me that just paints such a bigger target on your back. Like I'm just one for keeping it humble, let them know, and then just keep it pushing forward. Like let's move forward.
yeah,
You know, like let's worry about the next task at hand, like the next thing at hand. Like let's not worry about April. Like April's a long ways away from
yeah.
October.
I think it's
Um,
different in the sense with the Nuggets of like the the
mm-hmm.
the Tar Heels did that and then kind of flopped on their season if I remember right. Like wasn't that the year they weren't very did they not even oh
They
yeah,
didn't
that's
even
right. They
make
didn't
the
even make the
tournament.
tournament. But like the Nuggets, they're a two seed in the West, you know, and one of the best teams in the NBA. So like I get you, but like the Nuggets are backing it up. So that's why I put Jokic on the same type of level that you were talking about with LeBron in terms of like
Mm-hmm.
if he's on the floor, you're going to have a shot every single game and honestly a significant advantage in certain areas every single game.
Yeah. To go back real quick on because I'm never gonna let this go after Michigan State got in this year as a 19 win team. North Carolina was 20 and 12 last year and didn't get in the tournament. Michigan State was like 20 and 13 this year and got in as a 8 seed. So
They won their first round game.
North Carolina gets killed for things like that. Put North Carolina in, give them a chance. They were 8 seed when they went to the national
That is
championship game.
fair.
Anyways, but no, I hope I hope the Warriors do some things, man. I hope they do, because I feel like I just jumped all over the place, but that's been on my mind a lot because I'm just so tired of watching wasteful years. I'm cool with keeping Draymond. Like, I think he finally figured out, like, hey, I need to be on the court. I truly think what Clay said to him on his podcast, like, hit him in the heart a little bit. You could see it in his face when he was like, damn, like, I really let my
Hmm.
brothers down. I really let my guys down when I do this, like you could really see that hit home a little bit.
Yeah.
So
When it comes
I
from,
hope they keep him because
go ahead.
no,
When
go
it
ahead.
comes
Go ahead.
from a dude you've been to battle with so many times, I'm sure hearing words like that, it's like, okay, he's not just saying this to say it.
Mm-hmm. Bro, Lakers are shooting OC. No way they keep this up. They're 13 and 19.
Oh my gosh.
No
I'm
way.
way
No way
behind
they
you
keep
right
this
now.
up. Here we go. Foul merchants, dog. This shit. I can't stand how the Lakers have such a huge free throw differential. And yet they somehow don't foul. They somehow don't foul. I do not get it.
They got AD protecting the paint in there, man.
Let's see here. I mean, foul count's pretty even, 5-5, but like, god damn, man. Um, Speaking of college ball, actually, hold on. Before we go to that, OKC being the 1 seed, what did you think about that?
Well, I can't remember, like, I was talking about some of the tiebreakers and stuff for how it ended up working out, but so I can't really remember how it ended up where they got the 1 seed, but I don't know. I think it's a team that's very dangerous and a team that has a lot of weapons that can beat you and is pretty solid defensively. Um, but a lot of those dudes haven't been in the playoffs. And I just feel like
Mm.
every year there's a young team that makes it that maybe is a top seed or a high seed, and they get bounced a little earlier than expected because they just ran into a team that knows what the playoffs is about.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Hey, I wanted to play this actually. So, um, I found this. It was in March, but it said it was by Shannon Sharp, and it's about Kobe Bryant, because there's always the argument about like ranking, because the Lakers are a prominent franchise for having like really good players on
Hmm.
their team. You know what I mean? So like they've had LeBron, Magic, AD, Kobe, like just Shaq, Gary Payton, Karl Malone, like dudes. So this was he said because he said Kobe is God to the Lakers, but I want to hear you. I want to kind of play this real quick in my mic on Shannon and Gil's thing and just see if you
Okay.
agree with it, because I kind of did too.
LeBron as an adversary to Kobe. And anybody that could possibly threaten Kobe, that's a no-go. Kobe is God to the Lakers. Nobody is on the level of Kobe in a Laker uniform because they saw a 17-year-old boy come here, mature, grow, and they saw every step of the way. Nobody is going to replace Kobe. He was the American dream. We have the guy start off as a hero, gets dropped down from that hero stature, and then build himself back to that hero stature. That's what Kobe did. No other star did that. Jordan was Jordan. Magic was Magic. They didn't go here, fall here, and say, I'm going back to the mountain. And that's why Laker fans would never say Kobe is not the greatest Laker ever.
I
Agree.
certainly think like that's a very analytical way to look at it, but I think it's true. Like the thing I was thinking about while they were talking about that was,
Mm-hmm.
and that I really agree with, is that Kobe established himself as a Laker and went out as a Laker, and LeBron established himself long before he was a Laker. And so, although, yeah, like he has brought good teams and a championship to the Lakers, it's not the same. And I completely see what they're saying with that. Like the point I really liked was Shannon's, where he said, or I think it was Shannon, that a 17-year-old kid came in and like he blossomed into a superstar and winning championships and did it twice, kind of, kind of like they talked about the rise and fall.
I found that. I was like,
Yeah.
dang, that's so true. Yeah. Cause that's the second time I've heard Gil talk on Kobe in that same sense. Because he has the term of like how he called him the American dream, dude. That was so true. Like that was very true. But when he said Kobe was like how LeBron is a Lambo. LeBron's had a Lambo since he's picked up a basketball type stuff, since he's entered the league with his body and every his game, all that stuff. He's like Kobe was average, an average per build, dude. He's like 6'7", doesn't stand out. He was like he was an S500 car, like a very basic car, but turned it into a Bugatti. Like he did what everyone wanted to do by taking average and turning it
Well,
into
I don't know if he
pure
was. I don't know if he
greatness. And
was
he's like, that's
average. Wasn't he the number one player, the high school player in the country?
well, he's talking like, so he's talking like if you were to line up all the NBA players shoulder to shoulder, Kobe wouldn't stand out body wise, body size, or anything like that. He doesn't stand out. 6'7", really no, like he really didn't have a big vert. Came in super skinny, all that stuff, and like that's what he's saying. Whereas like LeBron, those dudes come in with that frame. KD came in with that frame and everything, and you knew like, all right, yeah, his Wemby came in with that frame. He stands out. He basically his saying was like Kobe. Yeah, he was 6'7", but he was super average as a 6'7" body
Yeah.
type deal.
No, I get that. And I think an element of that is what we were just talking about, is that he was 17, 18 years old, and he was a kid, and like you said, he's just an example of a dude that did have the tools, and kind of, being 6'6", 6'7", like that's big time, and being long, but he was a master of his craft, I guess, is the simplest way to put it for me. It's just an example of he mastered exactly what he went in the gym to do.
Yeah, I was like you said, I have that book that he put out, and one of the pages I read last night, it was just like he was basically said he's like he airballed four in a row, or 4 shots at the end of the game against the
In the
Jazz,
playoffs, yeah.
and in the playoffs, and he was like, I knew what my weakness was. I went to go get better, and he's like, every time after the gym, I knew I needed to get better because I always had a weakness, and I'm like, holy smokes, dude, that type of mentality is just so rare
Yeah,
to
and it's
have.
just analyzing your own game, being honest with
Obsessive.
yourself and analyzing your own game, and like not just focusing on the highlights and the good areas of your game. It's
Mm-hmm.
where you fell short. That's again kind of basically what I would attribute it to. I think everybody has the ability to truly do that. Obviously, not at the level of Kobe. Not everybody is going to become Kobe if they do that, but like everybody can sit there and analyze their game and be like, okay, I'm pretty proficient at this and I really excel at this, but man, this area of my game, like that pulls me off the floor or whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Let's talk college real quick. Let's talk the tournament and how that ended up.
Exactly how we thought
Because
it
I know
would.
your team got beat in the Elite Eight. My team got beat in the Sweet 16. Team that everyone knew would win. It won.
Hey, I'll say this. Purdue looked like they were putting up a good fight for a while, but it just wasn't sustainable.
I'll be honest with Can I say something about that real quick about Zach Edey's 37 points? That was like people stop don't look at the stats of that game at all. Like please, because watch the last 2 minutes of the garbage time points that he got. That were about 10 of them. Like dump off dunks where I'm sorry, yeah, cool. He scored 37 points, but in my eyes, like 10, 12 of those points were garbage points. Like easy around the rim. He came out like I was like, damn, UConn might not have Klingon might not have an answer for this. Like if Edey keeps playing like this, Purdue might have a chance. But he went MIA for about 15 to 16 minutes of that game, in the middle of that game, where it was like, yeah, you can't. He couldn't do that for his team in order
Yeah,
to stay in that
this
game.
is what I thought what it looked like to me from my perspective is, for one, that was UConn's game plan, was to let Klingon go one-on-one pretty much all game long. And that when Klingon was out of the game, like I think they doubled a little bit here and there, but for the most part, they played Edey. Yeah, they
In the
played
second
Edey for the
half.
most part one-on-one the majority of the game. So a dominant player like that, he's going to get his buckets. You know what I mean? But for one, they completely shut down the guards for the most part. But I think to your point where you saw the fall off with Edey, where he disappeared, was UConn keeps him in so many actions on the defensive end. Like he's constantly having a guard dribble handoffs or little dribble flips or pin screens or whatever it is, that although he's getting his buckets and going to work, it's wearing him out at the same time, having to do so much on both ends. And that's where I saw UConn. Like, I remember thinking it was still a close game, and I was just like, UConn still just looks like it's coming so much easier. Purdue's maintaining it, but it's the points and the success is coming at so much more of a cost.
Yeah. If Danny Hurley is there, like for the next 5 years, brother,
Oh, brother.
they might run college basketball for even longer. Truly, may not get national titles, but that wasn't the last time we're going to see UConn in the Final Four
Definitely
anytime
not.
soon. Because that's a solidified program. Because the thing that I loved about him is that he was like, we're not out there just to get everybody and anybody we can get. He's like, if you don't fit our style, you don't fit us, nah, you're not coming. I don't care if you're the number 1 draft pick in the next year. You don't fit. Sorry.
He
Like, dude, that turned me to the point where I was like, Danny Hurley's my new favorite coach in college in basketball.
he's had some great little snippets of videos and sound bites and stuff that he said in the past few weeks since they've won that thing, that man, they're just gems. And it all has to do with recruiting and the type of people you recruit.
This is stuff you like. Yeah. No, yeah, 100%. What was I just Oh, so I was listening to JJ Redick and Danny Hurley's the podcast, JJ's podcast with Hurley on it, and he was asking about some action that they ran. And I had seen that clip on Twitter too, and underneath it they showed the play, and oh my goodness, dude, the amount of like A,
Mm-hmm.
B, C, D options. Cool thing that he was saying, he's like he watches college football and gets a lot of his plays from college football and stuff, like not like straight up
Concepts, yeah.
plays, but like the concepts and the flows. He's like, dude, a play in college football doesn't have just one option. He's like, if there's 5 receivers out there, it's in order. One, your first progression, second progression, third progression. He's like, why not utilize that in basketball? Okay, here's your first option. It wasn't there. Second option wasn't there. By the time he gets that third, fourth, fifth option, one of those should be there because there's so much action defense is going to break down. So, dude, I bought the playbook for $20, downloaded it, or I got the PDF, and I bought the and stuff, like, because I did enjoy watching his
Oh my gosh, they
offense and
were
his sets and
insane,
actions that
dude.
they run, like all the staggers, all the
But no, I
screens,
think
everything.
what you're saying, if you really watch and analyze what they do on offense, that rings true. What you just said is because you can tell it's, especially when like the ball goes to Klingon at that high post or that top of that key, you can tell he has a progression of what side he works first. And then if there's nothing on that side, he starts working the other side with the ball in his hand still, whether it's dribble handoffs or ball screens or whatever it is. So you can tell that it's segmented that way in their offense. That's crazy. He said that.
No, I agree. It's just nice. It's smart. It's genius. Real quick, let's talk Duke. How did you, for you, real quick, as a Duke fan, your run, the game against NC State? How did you
If
feel
I'm being
about the
quite
season?
honest with you, they went farther in this tournament than I thought they would. I thought they were going to be a second round or a Sweet 16 exit, but they ended up getting there. They got Elite Eight. They went to the Elite Eight, correct? Am I tripping? Okay,
Yep.
that's
Yep.
right.
Lost to NC State.
But in my opinion, they ran into the NC State train. You know what I mean? Like, the NC State was rolling. They were hooping. They were doing their thing, and it was kind of
Big DJ Burns.
a little destiny game there for NC State, kind of like all of them ended up being. But they honestly went farther than I thought.
My quick deal on. Let me jump in real quick and say that he when he came out and hit you with the post, and the next time down hit the midi, I was like, oh shit, he might be out here to give Duke an L, and certainly it happened. I'll be honest with you though, like, I think when Jamal Shed rolled his ankle against
No
Houston,
question.
that changed. That played a big part in Duke's favor, because that took Houston's pressure off a little bit. But granted, Duke, like, kudos to Duke for stepping up, and they made a run. I didn't think they were going to make it that far. I'm so glad they didn't make the Final Four, because I would turn my phone off, disconnected it, and everything.
Yeah, you would have been hearing it. You would have.
But for me, the Tar Heels, man, I was glad that we were back to the 1 seed, back to where we where we need to be, where North Carolina basketball needs to be. Can't just have. It's good for the ACC. It's good for college basketball to have the Blue Bloods being good. But honestly, dude, that game, that shot. I hate to kill somebody for one shot, and I feel so bad for him because he got murdered by everyone on social media, including me. But brother, there's 15 seconds on the shot clock, and you are a 19% 3-point shooter, shot 21 on the season. What are you doing? You got RJ Davis standing right next to you with no one within 5 feet of him. give
That's
him
poor
the
decision making,
basketball.
certainly, but there's always next year for those or North Carolina boys,
Well, Harrison Ingram just declared
which
for the
is what I
draft
was going to
like
bring up.
really late, so now we just lost out on a ton of transfers opportunities, I think.
I haven't looked real closely at what Duke's signing class is and kind of who they've lost.
They just signed a dude from
Okay.
Syracuse.
Seven, it
you guys
says
lost
right
a lot of
here,
people.
10
You
hours
lost
ago.
Roach, and everything. Thing is, though, here's the thing. I think Duke's going to be good next year. Here's the question is can the youth take you? Because the good guys that you brought in, the 5 stars that are in, are all freshmen. Can like we all know how college basketball works. Duke was legit the last time Fab Five-ish style team won that back in 2015, 10 years ago. Outside of that, it's really been old teams. If you have older guys on your squad, you're more than likely going to win. So that's the only question I have for them next year, getting later in the season, is can youth last?
Yeah, I think it's what maybe some other people have talked about already is like, and I think maybe we touched on it too, kind of that fad of having 5 McDonald's All-Americans that are all freshmen. It kind of shown that it's not, you can win, but you can't necessarily win a national championship or make deep runs in the tournament with that. So I think it's about in this transfer portal era, you can find guys that you can really piece a roster together with that may not have been a McDonald's All-American, but they're in year 3 and they've had 3 years as this stud at a mid-major, and you bring them up and they end up being a winning player for you.
Speaking of the NIL, there has to be rules, man. There's got to be more. Like, okay, here's my biggest thing. I saw this tweet too. So Alabama went to the Final Four this year. The 8 Oats took that team to the Final Four, and then
I called that, by the way.
The transfer portal. Guys that played, dudes that played. Like,
yeah, I know that is crazy.
That. You know what I mean?
That is crazy.
Congrats to you.
I think, yeah,
because
and
it's
that's
like loyalty.
Dude, that's a whole another bag of tricks right there. Like we could go on for days about that, but like I feel like that's just the world, or just the college basketball world at this point, where it's Duke makes it to the Elite Eight and they lose 7 guys. I think it's all over the place.
Just sucks because it's like, yeah.
I was listening to this.
Honestly, but it is what
Let
it
me
is.
get
It's
your
the world
thoughts
we
on
live in
this.
nowadays.
I was listening to, I think it was All the Smoke with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, and I can't remember who the guest was, but maybe it was Boogie Cousins. But they were talking about how a lot of kids don't care about for the most part, what school they're going to as far as the tradition there, like, oh, going to a UCLA or going to a North Carolina. They want to go where they have that's not the priority, basically. I'm not going to put words in their mouth for why they go these places, but like kind of that idea of like, oh, if you got an offer from Duke or from North Carolina or from Kentucky, UCLA, these blue blood schools, that was kind of like part of the decision. It was a big point of pride, and it's like, I don't think I don't know if kids value that quite as much anymore. It's for other reasons.
No. It's money.
Oh shoot,
It's all money
Bush will say
nowadays.
it.
Jerry Jones was putting in. Jerry Jones spent a ton of money to get John Calipari there. He's putting in a ton of money for guys, like, to recruit guys there, so they can
Jerry
NIL
Jones.
deals, throw in those deals and pay their dudes. Like, it's he's a big
Oh, really?
booster for Arkansas. That is a hold on LeBron James. That is a illegal screen. Just because he has 23 in James on his jersey doesn't mean you can discredit that foul. That is a foul.
I thought he was going to
Oh
Yam.
my God.
12-point game, Bush.
Dude, the Nuggets look like I told you. What did I just say? 15,
It was
20
both
minutes
of
ago?
us. Big dog. Yeah, exactly.
You said the same thing. We both said the same thing. You don't bet against the people that are on Mount Rushmores of sports.
And I don't know if this is
That's why you don't bet against Tom
quite
Brady.
as strong of a Nuggets team as last year's, just top to bottom.
Not having Bruce Brown or Jeff Green hurts.
It's just a depth thing,
lot.
just a depth thing.
They should have never. They should have. We got younger guys. Like, yeah, we'll see. It's a long series. We're literally still in the second quarter of a 7-game series.
It's very true.
So we'll see how it goes. Just because if Denver or the Lakers lose this series, it's no cakewalk through the West. I mean, to be honest with you, I truly think if everyone plays the way they need to, the Los Angeles Clippers could make the
Lakers could.
I want Paul. No, the Clippers.
They could, dude. Oh yeah.
I'm a big PG guy. Big PG.
So
guy.
They would either see.
I love PG.
Excuse me. The Thunder or the Pelicans in the next round. I think they could definitely beat either of those teams. Yeah.
The Clippers? I'll be honest.
Oh, no doubt. This is going to kind of be their test, I feel like, this first round for them.
I don't know, man. All year I felt like this is some crazy thing is gonna happen, and we're gonna see LeBron in the finals, and everyone's just gonna be.
And he's gonna win it. One time for the one time.
No. I refuse.
Are you seeing this one person in the audience over here?
That will happen.
Right? I don't know, dude. I just noticed it.
Yeah, what is that?
No.
Ain't
this
no
is
one
closed,
in here,
man.
Yeah. We might as well just start wrapping it up. Stay tuned for the next couple. Next episode is a cool one. If y'all follow me on Twitter, you saw that. Our next guest is.
Yeah, man. We don't give up those secrets.
To say that, but if you follow me on Twitter, you've seen it. You've seen it. So, it's gonna be good. Our next two guests should be, step up. We're stepping up the game a little bit.
Just seeing what we can do.
But it's hard to win games when Anthony Davis and LeBron James are combining for 30 points while shooting 11.
That's a winning formula, baby. Man, I hope it happens, Bush, just for your sake. You know what I mean?
It ain't happening. And we're going to end it with that. It's going to be Nuggets in 5. Nuggets in 5, episode 42. LeBron James is washed, and he's the third best basketball player of all time.
Whatever you say, Bushel Beans. Just watch him cook in these playoffs. And just manipulate the matchups.
No.
All right, people.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna cut this one out so Hilks can stop the.
It's just
the
truth.
blasphemy.
Just